haven't we done? Okay, now this measurement I've just done is for a typical male shirt. If you are to take the measurement of a female for her shirt or shirt gown, there are some things you need to add to this particular one we have done. Okay, now you will have to take from her shoulder to her under bust. Okay, now if we're taking from this mannequin shoulder to the under bust, this is 14. Okay, now after taking your 14, you measure round the point of 14, round under bust. Here we have 29. After doing that, you take from shoulder to hip point. To hip point here is 24. You now take round hip. Round hip here is 36. All right. Then those are the two key things you need to add to the female measurement to achieve this curve and the hip area. Okay, now after doing that, you can now take the length of the top for a female. Most times they want their shirts longer than normal, so you take the length and then you can go ahead to administer your measurement on the fabric. Now before I go, there's something I want you to understand. After taking the measurement of this body, all right, we have let's measure it again. Okay, let's say 36. All right, after taking 36, what you do when administering this measurement on a fabric is, one, you divide your 36 by 4. Okay, why is it by 4? Because a shirt opens into two. This is one part, this is another part, this is one part, this is another part. That is 4. Now you divide by 4, okay, and add 1 inch seam allowance, sewing allowance, okay, so that when you complete sewing the shirt, at the end of the day, it will fit properly. So you divide by 4 and then add 1 inch seam allowance. Note another thing. In front here, if we are doing the uncovered button flap, the one that is not covered, the one you can see the buttons in front, if we're doing that, it means that we will okay, before we do that, I need you to understand something. From if it is a male shirt you're making, from the left, always that is where your buttonholes are. Okay, your buttonholes come from the left of every male shirt, and your buttons come from the right of every male shirt. Now for a female, the reverse is the case. Your buttonholes come from the right, while your buttons come from the left. Okay, so depending on whose shirt you're making, either a female or a male, what you need to do is that the area that will have the buttonhole will have 3 inches for the uncovered button shirt flap. The area that will have buttons will have 2 inches extra in front. Okay, now if you are doing a covered button, okay, for a male, the buttonhole area is from the left. So on that buttonhole area, you have to add 5 inches plus what you get from dividing the body itself by 4 and then adding 1 inch. After doing that, you add 5 more inches for the button cover to be properly created. And on the right, you add 2 inches where the buttons will be. If it is a female, you do that from the button, the covered button will come from the right. That is where you add your 5 inches, and the buttons will come from the left. That is where you add your 2 inches. All right. So for now, we'll stop here, and if you have any questions, please ask.